music stopped. Get us in the room. Good to see you guys jumping in live for the super secret training. I better do some tech checks. I haven't done that this morning. Let me know in the chat that you can hear everything okay. And we're going to be doing a secret session today all around what 5 simple steps you can use to simply sell and not feel slimy. So good to hear that I'm sounding good. Good morning. It's Monday morning, the last day that the 67-day year program is open. I'm excited to get going with you all. We hit the ground running with a couple calls to get you ready to go. And then we have our 3-day live trainings that start up October 3rd through the 5th. And then for those of you who are only available in the evenings, we will have a restream of that in the evening. So very excited to get you going. Really thrilled for those who are ready to create a year's worth of goals in 67 days. Those that are ready to unleash from the old patterns and the old narratives that have kept you stuck. It's really automate a 7-figure language so that you can get there so much faster and implement the 67-day year method and the NeuroCoach model so that you scale your business in record time. So I'm excited for all of you that are joining. We've been celebrating you. We've been sharing your pictures, sharing your goals. And a lot of you over the weekend spent the weekend binge watching the 67-day year live sessions for Unleashed Entrepreneur. Who binge watched this weekend? Tell me in the chat. That those replays, unless you join VIP, those replays will be going away as of midnight tonight. And so today I wanted to jump on live. We had all last week together, really unpacking the 67-day year, really unpacking 7-figure language and how to put it in automation in your brain, how to unhook from patterns of the past that have stopped you, slowed you down, like perfectionism, procrastination, overwhelm, and all the stories that really are not yours. They are patterns of the past that are actually managing 90% of your current day future. And so we unpacked how we're going to unhook you from that permanently, how to automate that 7-figure language, and how to create a year's worth of goals in 67 days. And that's what we're doing inside the 67-day year. So go to 67dayyearlive.com. And like I said, the doors close at midnight. And if you are on the fence and if you have questions, please even ask them here or DM me on Instagram or Facebook or tag me in the Unleashed Entrepreneur Facebook group. And I'd be glad to answer any of those questions. And so I want to dive into today. I've got my notes loaded up, so I'm going to look down here occasionally, but I wanted to call this the super secret subconscious sales process, because this is what it really is. It's connecting with your perfect client in a way that moves them to the decision to buy from you on their own. Can I get an amen and a heck yes in the chat if you're like, I would like to just serve, and I would like my perfect client to say, you know what, I've been so served by you that I want to work with you. If that seems like a dream come true, put dreamy in the chat, because that's what we're going to be breaking down. And if you've been with me live over the last week, then you know that these trainings are so much for you that I wait until you actually answer me in the chat for me to keep going, because this is not a training for me. This is a training for you. And I really want to help you. If you can't hear my heart in this, in the 67-day year program, I want to help you really unleash that entrepreneurial business fast. It's my heart. It's my calling. It's what God's put me on the earth to do. And luckily revealed to me through all of my bruised knees and banged head of trying to figure it out myself, that there is actually an easier, faster way, not by chasing more strategies, not by trying to do more, which is the kind of the old broken method, but really aligning with how God wired your brain, how your brain is actually works, and moving out those stories that are in the way, automating the stories that you really doing it in a window where you're able to create a year's worth of goals in 67 days. So if you're like, so a lot of you are saying dream, it would be dreamy if I could just serve and people would say, I want to work with you. So I have 5 simple steps to this. This is something we use in all of our front end process. This is something we use on emails. This is something we use in our coaching calls. This is something we use, not coaching calls, sales calls. So this can be used no matter what forum, no matter what medium. And it's so much more authentic and aligned with how people like us want to sell. If you're ambitious, if you're driven, and you've got a heart towards your clients, and you kind of feel slimy when you go to offer them what you have, or it feels uncomfortable versus like, it's like when you're serving them, you feel like comfortable, warm, comfy sweats. But when you go to sell, you feel like you're wearing that tight dress that you wear to only weddings and that you have to wear Spanx for, right? So tell me in the chat, what's Spanx, if that's kind of how it feels to sell. It's like the Spanx feeling. And God bless you. I love these Spanx. Don't get me wrong, but it does kind of make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. So today I want to break down these 5 for you. This is where we were going to go even deeper. If you remember, for those of you who are jumping into 67-day year program, one of the bonuses is a mastermind type call with me where we're going to really hot seat your business. And one of the biggest areas I see entrepreneurs struggle is this area of sales. It's like you can get all the other things done, create content, serve. But when it comes to taking the sales conversation, that's when we get a little bit like we're wearing Spanx, right? So this super secret 5 simple steps, I'm going to break down for you, not just what are the steps, but what's happening subconsciously for your client at that place that's making them move toward wanting to work with you. So if you're ready, say I'm ready in the chat, because I'm only going to move forward if you're absolutely 100% ready this Monday morning. Let's go. I want to make sure you're ready. So say ready in the chat. So I'm going to wait for that. I'm going to take a drink of my coffee, not much more. I see you ready. Now, by the way, if I don't say your name, it's because StreamYard doesn't have your name. So if you didn't give StreamYard permission, please just put your name attached to your comment. That's why I know you are here, and I can actually say your name versus other people's names. So I see Carolina's ready. I see Tori's ready, and everybody else, I can't see your name. So please tell me your name, because this is why I'm doing it, is for you. And again, before we dive in, I'm going to remind you that the doors to 67-day year program close tonight at midnight. Hey, Michelle. They close today at midnight, and Michelle's already in. We're super proud of her. So we want to make sure you get in. I always end up with an email the next day. Can I get in? Right now, my team on the backside is already gearing up, already getting the gears in motion. So I really don't want you to go another month, 3 months, 10 months and say, I'll do it then. I'm just going to chase what I've always done and hope for a different result, right? That quote is from Einstein and is a really powerful one. If we do not unlock from the past patterns and unleash that 7-figure language and learn how your brain allows accomplishment, then you're always working against your number one tool to excel. And you can't outperform your subconscious. You've actually got to rewire it. And the amazing container that we do it in is this idea where your brain can actually accomplish a year's worth of goals in 67 days. And so make sure you go to 67-day year live, check out the stories that are on the page, watch the videos. And if you're on the fence, make sure you DM me and let me know. Okay, let's get going. Step number 1 of the super secret, simple sales conversation that has your clients ready to ask you to work with you instead of you having to sell. Say goodbye to that Spanx feeling. Number 1 is meet them where they are, not where you are. Now, this is one of the biggest things that I see challenges with. And we typically are helping somebody that is a step or 2 behind us, or maybe 3, but they're not where you are. And a lot of times when we have moved, whether have a business product or a health product or a product helping with relationships, no matter what, we tend to speak from where we are and say, come on, I want you to come here because this is where I am and you should want to be there too. Number one is we've got to meet them where they are, not where you are. And what do I mean by that? I mean, diving into, remember what it feels like to be in their shoes when you just got started, because that's how they're going to feel. And this is the key subconsciously. If you meet them where they are and not where you are, the feelings, the thoughts, the actions, where they are currently, not where you are, because you're more advanced, you've moved the needle, and that's why you want to help them, right? So if we do that, what ends up happening in their subconscious is they feel known, seen, and they feel trust. This is an internal process when someone really communicates exactly where I am, exactly where you are. And hopefully over the last week, you've experienced that. Not because I'm saying I'm the greatest coach in the world, come follow me because I'm here. I'm saying I've walked in your shoes. I know what it feels like. I know how powerful that is. I know how stressful it is. And that feeling of trust gets developed in the subconscious, that feeling of being known and being seen. And in a world where AI is taking the intimacy out, in a world where it still feels like humans are a number, when you lean in and really do step one, meeting them where they are, they feel seen, they feel known, and that trust starts to build. So that's step number one in this 5-step super secret sales system. All right, number two. Are you ready? Number two. It's the second step in this system that allows you to actually have clients. Can I come work with you instead of you putting on that uncomfortable Spanx sales system? Is meet them in their pain. This is a big one. Are you ready? Not what they need. Okay, what do I mean by that? Shannon, you're confusing me. Meet them in their pain. Here's the thing. When we're a few steps ahead of our clients, we know they're in pain, and we also know what they need to get out of pain, right? Tell me in the chat. Yeah, I know what they need to get out of pain, right? We know that they're in pain, and we also know what they need to get out of pain. This is probably why you're offering coaching. This is probably why you're offering a course or some kind of service, because you know that there are things that they don't know that if they did them, they would get out of pain. Yes, I want to get your acknowledgement. So tell me in the chat, does that make sense? Like, you know what they need to get out of the pain that they're in. Tell me in the chat. Yeah. And so we know, and what most struggling entrepreneurs make the mistake of is saying you can get out of pain by, and then you insert whatever they need. Now, here's the challenge. If they don't already think that they need it, you've now introduced information to them that is not going to meet them where they are, which is step number one, is not going to really align with what they feel in their pain. And they're going to immediately subconsciously distance themselves from you, right? They're going to distance themselves from you. Versus, and I see this all the time. Here's a great example. I am, and this is not me, this is somebody I was just coaching the other day. I am coaching moms who have teenagers and they're starting a business and they're feeling overwhelmed and frustrated. There's the pain. Okay, fine. And I'm going to teach them how to do self-care and mindset, because those are the things that move the needle. Okay, that's where I want you to hear the screeching tires and go, stop. Unless your niche, your demographic already thinks that mindset and self-care in that scenario is the answer, you've actually moved a distance between you and them. So here's the hint. Most people don't realize that it's just a mindset shift. Think about the weight loss category. What's the number one thing that really moves the needle? Most people know that it's kind of like what you eat and how you move, right? We know that, yet we still struggle. So why do we still struggle? Well, we can understand that it's probably some kind of thinking process. But the person who's just getting started in a weight loss journey does not want to go embark on sharing their feelings and uncovering why. What they want is to lose weight. We've got to meet them where they are, number one. And number two, we got to meet them in their pain, not what you know they need. What you know they need is going to be in your program. What they already think they need about their pain is where you're going to meet them. Because when someone is in pain and wants a solution, right? Wants to go faster, wants to remove something, and they want to get your product, your service, your book, whatever it is, they already have an idea of the solution or how to make it better. So in that weight loss scenario, I know I need a healthy eating plan. That's a known solution to their pain removal. So for somebody in the health genre, you got to meet them in their pain and where they already think the solution is, so that you can move them to the solution that actually works when you get them in the program. Why do you need to do this? Meeting them in their pain, describing not just generalities, but specificity about what they're feeling, what they're not doing. Like in that weight loss scenario, like they're not wearing dresses anymore because they're afraid their tummy is going to show when they go to their child's um, dance recital. Talking about the real challenges that the pain creates and not telling them what they need to do. Have you ever had that scenario, kind of like a parent does? It's like, okay, you've got this problem. Well, all you need to do is do, 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 do. And you feel like, okay, that might be right, but I am so not listening to you because all you feel like you're doing is judging me by saying, well, if you just did X, Y, Z, it would all get fixed. Now, that's not your heart, but that's how subconsciously it comes across. So number one, meet them where they are. Number two, meet them in their pain. If you do those two things, you now have built trust subconsciously. They feel known, they feel seen, and they feel validated. Now you've moved a lot of the doubt out of the way of this big question is, does this person understand me? And does this person understand my pain? Now, the great thing about this is, have we done any selling yet? Well, I would say yes, because the whole purpose is getting them to the finish line for them. But in terms of like offering your program or anything like that, we haven't done that yet. We've met them where they are, number one. Number two, we meet them in their pain, describing it as good or maybe even better than they can, not with generalities, but with specificity about your perfect client. That's why I can talk about 10K months and how it feels to get close but not get there, and that feeling that maybe I don't have what it takes, maybe this won't work. Why? Because number one, I felt it, meet them where they are, and I've experienced it, and I don't forget it because I really want to help you unleash from that. Does that make sense? This is not pre-recorded. This is live. So that's the second. Number three is to meet them in their perceived need, not what they really need. Okay, this one's, stay with me for a second. Your client, let's stick with the weight loss scenario. They already have an idea of what they need. So for a lot of entrepreneurs, they think they need this perfect strategy that works, right? And that's why we offer, yes, we're teaching you the 67-day year model. Yes, we're teaching you how to remove limitations and build automations in your mind so it comes fast. That's what actually makes it work. But at the same time, you're an entrepreneur. So I know you need bonuses around your niches and around, business masterminds and things like that, because that's a known perceived need. So meet them in their perceived need, not what they actually need. So we're talking about the actual, which will be in your program, versus what they already perceive the solution is. So if I'm somebody that's supporting people with weight loss, I am going to meet them in some form of movement and some form of a meal plan, because they already know that that's the solution. So to say that's not the solution, I'm going to throw that out completely, puts them on guard. But we call this process layering. Yes, of course, you're going to get meal plans. And of course, you're going to get this process that allowed me to get from A to B. And you're going to learn it in a way that you haven't learned it before. That way, you're validating where their perceived need is. So now we've gone from meeting them where they are, number one, meeting them in their pain, number two. Remember, people purchase coaching courses, books, etc., to remove pain 90% of the time and 10% of the time for aspiration. Write that down. So if we're shy or hesitant about meeting them in their pain, it's going to be difficult to have them move toward a solution because they don't know if you get them. So I really want you to see number two. I know I went back a second, but I just want to talk about this as the highest act of service, because when people feel seen, known, and validated, they get it. That's what happens. They start to feel that deep trust because they feel like you get them. You understand what they're going through, and you know you'll give them their perceived need, which is number three. I'm going to meet you in your perceived need, plus give you these other things that helped me move the needle, right? And I'm going to talk about number three for a second here. There's a big difference between meeting someone in a scenario where you're like, hey, I've been there. I can show you what I've done, versus you should do this. Tell me which one feels more human and more like you would actually want to work with them. Hey, you know what? I've been exactly in your shoes, and I know where you are, and I'm describing the pain, and I can show you the steps I took so that you can get the results that I have. That's option A. Option B is, this is what you need to do in order to get to where you want to go. That's option B. Put in the chat which one would draw you to work with them more, option A or option B. I'm going to take a drink. I want to wait for you to answer. Option A or option B? Carolina says option A. How about you? What do you say? Which one of those? But once you get off this live super secret bonus training and you scroll any internet, you're going to see thousands of people do this, do this, do this. And you look under the hood and they're saying they're a multi-million-dollar business coach and they're spending multi-millions plus 100,000. And please understand, coach with people that have gotten the results you want. Do not coach with people that might say they've gotten to seven figures, but they've spent 7.5 to get there. Can I get an amen for that? So you can kind of see these kind of folks because they're like, this is what you do and you follow my super system and you'll get there, versus I know right where you are. I've walked in your shoes. I know the pain and I can kind of describe it almost better than you can, or at least as good as you can. And I meet you in your perceived need. So if you've been with me for the last week, your need is to get to 10K months and beyond consistently. Like that's the need. And you already know, like, yes, strategies are part of it. So I say, yes, we have these strategies as part of 67-day years. And we're also going to get you there through this model, which allows you to collapse time, create speed, right? And so we add these things to it. All right. So that's number three. Meet them in their perceived need, not in what they actually need. All right. What they actually need goes in the program. And that's when you really blow their mind, because you not only give them what they already thought they needed, but you give them the thing that actually moves the needle. And that's what makes a raving fan. So I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, we've done number one, number two, and number three. Subconsciously already, we have compounded them feeling seen, feeling known, feeling cared for, feeling validated. Tell me in the chat if you feel seen, known, cared for, validated, and that compounds. How much more likely? So either put more or less. How much more likely would you want to work with someone if you feel seen, known, validated, just really in that place, right? A lot more, a lot more. This is human to human. This isn't I'm teaching you 5 steps, but what I'm teaching you is how to be a good human in the online business world. This is like intuitive. You probably already, yeah, your core needs are met. Exactly. But this should feel like good because this is good. This is like what we want. This is how we make friends. We meet them where they are. We meet them in their pain. We don't consciously do this. This is natural for most humans connecting. But unfortunately, in the online marketing world, it has become disconnected. Would you agree? It's become, follow this perfect formula sales script, and be a robot, and they will comply. How about let's really get out there and serve people so much so that they want to work with us? Can I get a amen? Can we go to Entrepreneur Church right now? Like, let's get back to the human to human connection. Let's get back to where we actually make a difference for people at a core level, not because we're trying to get great sales, but because we actually freaking care about the people that we want to serve. All right, I'm getting on a soapbox this morning. I can feel it, but like, I really want you to hear my heart. What I'm teaching this morning is deep human connection that moves the needle for people. Okay, we got through 3. Let me bring up number 4. Now, you're going to want to write these all down, but you're going to want to write this down because this is a little bit of a path you want to take them on. So you've met them where they are, number 1. You've met them in their pain, number 2. You've met them in their perceived solution, number 3. And now we invite them to see the potential future if the pain is removed and the perceived solution is successful. Basically, we're inviting them to start to tell us what becomes possible in step 4. What's the possibility when the language is now we, not you, when we remove that pain and we talk about those pains again, and we accomplish that perceived solution. We accomplish the weight loss. We accomplish the 10K months. We accomplish the loving marriage. Tell me what is now possible. Because what we're doing here, and this is the highest act of service, is we're helping them move back toward hope and possibility. We help them move back toward hope and possibility. And a lot of times when someone is in pain and they might have a perceived solution, but they haven't been able to accomplish it because they've been trying and trying and trying and trying, there's a little bit of the loss of hope and a loss of potential in their soul, in their spirit. And I said all last week, growing an online business, a coaching business, an author business, a speaker business, this is not a worldly thing to do. This, I believe, is an eternal destiny kind of thing, a calling from God. And you have a system that enables you to do that so that you can really help people, right? And so inviting them to see their potential future reconnects them to why they even want that result to begin with. So for me, when I was struggling as an entrepreneur and I couldn't get past that entrepreneur glass ceiling, for me, it was like the reason I wanted it so bad is because I wanted to show my kids a different way than I saw growing up. We have a process inside 67-day year to help you unpack that full potential future and really, really see it for what it is. But for as you're in this conversation with your potential client, bringing them back to it once the pain is gone, and once we have the outcome that you want, what's possible? So now you get them subconsciously back in hope and back in possibility. And because you've done the human things of meeting them where they are, of meeting them in their pain, meeting them in their perceived need, they feel comfortable and safe enough to enter into that hope, to enter into that possibility. And safety is key. Feeling safe with someone you're about to work with is vital. It's vital. And so as we're doing steps 1 through 3, we're really building that subconscious safety for the client to then enter into step 4, which is seeing the potential future where the pain doesn't exist and they have the result they want. And this creates that possibility, that dreaming, that opening up again to why they're doing it to begin with. All right. And then number 5 is as simple as inviting them to what's possible. We're going to work together to get you really, really clear on how to remove the pain, to get you really certain on how to get the result. And we're going to do it together so that you never miss the mark again. See, this is the misconception of almost everybody who's selling online. People do not want coaches. People do not want books. People do not want speakers. What they want is a result. They want a result faster than they're getting it on their own, or they're wanting to remove something faster than they're trying to do it on their own. So going from step 4, inviting them to see what's possible, to step 5, inviting them into that future together with you. And what that provides is clarity on removing the pain. It provides certainty on how to get to where they want to go, because they'll be working side by side with you to get that result. So it's just the next thing. Let's work together so you can have clarity on removing the pain, certainty on getting the outcome as we work together to do this. It's that simple. I've yet to say, and now join my program, and now blah, blah, blah. Now, I know when we've spent the time together this week, I have offered you to jump into it, but that was at the very end of us walking on this path together. That was at the very end. So when you get to step 5, it's just as simple as let's get started. And that's why I am telling you today, let's get started. This is the last day to join 67-day year program, so that we can remove those pains as an entrepreneur that's been holding you back, so that you can have the future where 10K months are a given and you're going on to 20K and beyond, and you're doing it in a quarter of a time while you're able to spend time at your kid's soccer game, while you're able to be off with girls for a coffee without losing money, right? Without trading time for dollars. So you get the idea. These 5 steps are human sales system. It's human. I call it subconscious sales because of what it does for them. It allows them to feel seen, known, trusted, safe, hopeful, like they have the potential. And then the ultimate piece, they get clarity and certainty by working with you. And that's really what they're after, right? They just want to know they can get rid of the thing they don't want and get to where they do. So tell me in the chat how much more comfortable this process feels versus some of the things that you have been trying. Because what I want you to know is this: no one wants a coach or a course creator or a course or a book. They want the solution. They want real humans, meeting them in that real human place, actually caring. Can I get an amen for caring again being popular? Can we make caring for one another become popular again? That whole season of, I'm even forgetting the term, where like people just dissed you and dismissed you. Can we make being human again the thing that moves the needle in our business? And here's the thing: from a brain-based perspective, this is what moves the needle for people saying yes. They need to feel known. They need to feel seen. They need to feel validated. They need to feel safe. They need to feel potential and hope, and they need to have certainty and clarity. And that's what these 5 steps unpacks. Now, I am going to say to you, all of you who are in the 67-day year that you've joined already, like I said, the doors close tonight at midnight. So go to 67dayyearlive.com and get in. So you already know you have the entire program for those that had joined for the intensive. And then there are some of you who are joining for the accelerator, the extended coaching. We're starting, I believe, on Wednesday with our first kickoff call, and we're going to hit the ground running. There is a system in which sales can become so authentic that it's just naturally drawing clients to you. So what we're going to do in a bonus for those of you who joined today, this is the last day to join, we're going to take the 5 steps that you learned on this training, and we're going to unpack step by step by step for you how to implement this in your business. So we're going to talk about what if you're an online coach? What if you're an author? How do I do it then? What if I have high ticket? How do we do this system there? What if we're just building a list? How do I use this to continue to build a list? We use this in something in my world that I call a sprint. And so I'm going to be teaching this sprint system with these 5 steps and how to literally create raving fans as a bonus at the very, very end. So I'm excited to bring that to you. Just go a lot deeper, really invite them to unpack sales where you actually, here's my goal, that you actually love getting on sales conversations, that you actually love offering your programs, services, etc., because this unlocks for you and unleashes for you the deepest part of your calling, where you help people feel seen, known, heard, hopeful, having potential, clear, and certain. And then they get results through you, which creates raving fans in your business and a sold out program. And that's, my friends, one of the things that collapses time. Now, I'm glad to answer any questions for those of you that are on the fence, but I just want to get you excited about the fact that we're going to unpack this even more than a 20-minute live and really dive into how does this fit with every online sales model that's going on right now and how you can get it implemented in your business today, where you literally show up day by day serving and then letting people just jump in because you've gotten them over that finish line. All right, that's the super secret session for you today. I, like I said, am available to answer any questions. And a lot of people are asking, like, when are the actual training days for 67-day year? We are doing the daytime training the 3rd through the 5th. So we'll kick off with that. That will immediately go in the portal. And then we will do a restream in the evening time. So you'll be able to be live, whether it's AM or PM. No, that's a big deal for a lot of people. And then for those of you who are going on and doing the accelerator with us, where you're going for 12 weeks with coaching, with the Voxer, with all of that thing, we have got all of our coffee chats planned, our coaching calls planned, and we're ready to rock and roll and get you over that finish line and get you a year's worth of goals in 67 days. And as soon as you join, just so you know, you will immediately get access to the portal, and the portal has every date. So if you joined Accelerator, you'll also see all the coaching calls. If you joined Intensive, you'll see the October 3rd through 5th date in there. And then we're going to get the restream. It will restream on those same days, and then it'll again restream the second week in October, I believe, just for those who couldn't be there live. We know you want the live experience, so we want to offer that for those who aren't there during the day. All right. That's what I have for you today. Remember, the doors close at midnight. I cannot wait to see you inside the 67-day year program. And for all my clients, because I did stream this into my client groups like 67-day year and the Neuro Coach certification, I wanted to make sure you got this live training today. Thank you for being in the room with me. I honor and love you so much. And I cannot wait to get you to the end of 2023, knowing this has been your best year ever. All right. Love you so much. I'll see you on the inside. Bye for now.